All right, I believe we are live. So, firstly, hi everyone. I hope you all are doing well. And it's been a long time since I am back on the webinar thing, so it feels pretty good. And before starting up, just let me know if I'm audible. Actually, I can't see the comments right now. Is my video and audio syncing together? Yes, all right. I have. All right, perfect. Okay, thank you, Sushil. Thank you, Vishal. Okay, so hi from Turkey. Nice to see you here, buddy. All right, perfect, guys, perfect. Thank you for joining in. And before starting up, I had a very simple question to ask. So, are you guys active on Twitter? Firstly, do you have an account on Twitter? If yes, what are you enjoying about it? If not, why are you guys not active on Twitter? What is that one thing which you don't find attractive about Twitter? Yeah, let's keep this session a little interactive so that I got to know more about you, and that's how our guests will be able to help you and provide you with some better insights. So please comment down whatever you feel like. It will definitely help us to make this session more interactive, more technical, more insightful for you guys. All right, so all the people who are saying no, I would love to know the reason behind it. For example, Ritu said no. Ashish is saying controversies. Well, that is something which happens on Twitter quite a lot. But again, it's not the right. It's good, but creates less focus time. All right, we are going to talk about how to be more active on Twitter for sure. No Twitter, use Instagram. Wow, that's a contrarian choice, but cool. I'm on Twitter for politics and latest information about technology. Well, that is cool. News updates. Perfect. So some of you guys are, some of you are not, but mostly I see political issues is one of those things for which you are not on Twitter. Okay, it has become abusive. Well, so has every other social media platform, but no issues. I think thanks for answering firstly, and our guests will are definitely gonna help you jot down more points about how Twitter can help you. Specifically, when it comes to career-wise, it is a good platform to build community. And I think it's time that we invite our guest, right? So here we are. Hi Nirbhay, hi Pratham.
Hello,
Hi,
Sid.
Sid.
First of all,
Glad to be
thank you
here.
for inviting us. It's an honor to be here on Geeks for Geeks channel.
The pleasure is all ours, I believe. And I think there are a lot of choices about Twitter being a good platform or a bad platform. So there's definitely we'll be definitely having some heated conversation about that. And as many are pointing out that everything happens on Twitter first, and then it eventually goes down to other social media platforms. So that's cool. All right. So let's start this session. Firstly, can you guys introduce yourselves a little about yourself, your achievements, what are you planning to do? Let's start with Nirbhay first.
Yes. I am Nirbhay. Yes, I'm Nirbhay Vashisht. I'm a Microsoft Learn student ambassador. I'm currently pursuing computer science engineering. I'm in the final year and will be passing out in the next couple of months. As a Microsoft Learn student ambassador, I have spoken at various universities. I've hosted workshops, hackathons, meetups, and since we are here on the topic of Twitter, I built an audience on Twitter of around 18,000 followers without being like really consistent or active. Uh, yeah, that's about it. My career highlight was speaking at Delhi Technological University in front of a crowd of 200 participants. So me being a student of a tier 3 college, it was a big deal for me and a career highlight. So yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. Thanks for the introduction, Nirbhay. Pratham, over to you.
Yeah, so hey everyone, my name is Pratham Prasoon and I'm currently in high school. I'm 16 years old and yeah, I joined Twitter about 2 years ago, but I started using it consistently since like June of last year. And I have an audience of around 74,000 followers on Twitter. And yeah, I've been pretty consistent on this platform, and I've gotten various opportunities. So right now I'm a research fellow at AI Crowd, which is a Switzerland-based company. I'm researching about evaluation metrics and machine learning, which is what I tweet about on Twitter. And yeah, that's mostly it. And I'm planning on getting into a good college now, just like any other high school student. And I've done some freelancing work through Twitter because of my audience, um, I've launched a couple of free products. So yeah, that's mostly it about me.
All right. So the first thing which we all can agree upon is that Twitter does help you, showcase your talent to the world, and it is definitely a good community building platform, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. People don't know the power of Twitter. Like mostly as chat answered that they use Twitter for politics or just getting
Yeah.
updated for news. But it is a really powerful platform or tool to build audience, and people have very little idea about it.
Specifically, the community in tech, I believe, they have
Yeah,
literally like next to zero idea about Twitter, how it works, and everything.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That
I mean, yeah, I know people that have gotten really high paying remote jobs, even when they just got out of college and they're getting offers that are more than what freshers at Google would get. So it's an insane place to, the dev community is really active. You can meet with a lot of, really brilliant individuals and just make a lot of connections and, just enjoy the community. Most people just don't know that such a community even exists. So yeah, there's
All
you
right.
can do like insane things on Twitter.
Yeah, and the thing is that you don't have there is a balance between complete professionalism and personal life. You can The tech community on Twitter is like wholesome, and on a human standpoint they're great people. Like uh, obviously on Twitter we talk about more than tech, so you can share your personal life, how's it going, how's your career going. It's not like sharing just your career highlights. It's more like about sharing your journey, and yeah, about your profession and tech, etc. What are you doing, and people supporting each other. It's really wholesome.
All right. So I think this is a subtle blow to LinkedIn because that's what happens on LinkedIn mostly, people sharing their achievements. But yeah, even I have witnessed this, that Twitter is a good platform to tell more about your personal life and ask users about their reviews, good feedbacks, building the whole community wala thing. So that is one thing which is very true about Twitter. And anything which you would like to add, Pratham?
Yeah, I mean, most people just don't know how powerful Twitter can be. So there are multiple. I mean, use Twitter how you like. Most people are supportive, and it's a all around just a great community to be in. And you'll notice that you learn things a lot faster. You grow a lot faster when you're in a community because you have all these people, helping you out and cheering for you. And yeah, in general, it's pretty good. Sometimes it can get a bit salty, and but mostly it's a really good experience. So yeah, I definitely agree there.
So other than politics, what other reasons have you come across for not joining Twitter or for not being active on Twitter? Is there any other weird reason which you might have come across?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a huge. I mean, we all know there's like the cancel culture thing going on. That's pretty bad. And then, in general, you do have a few morons on Twitter, just like you have on the internet. So, uh, yeah, you'll find a few mean people here and there, but it's generally a good experience. But sometimes, yeah, um, if you cannot handle too much of criticism or mean stuff, so yeah, it can be a bit taxing at start. But you just get used to it. It's just like you just have to learn to live with because that's how the internet is. So yeah, it's not particularly specific to Twitter, but
Absolutely.
yeah, there are some issues. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously there is cancel culture, and obviously you have to take criticisms, like invalid criticisms too. Like anyone can reply
Precisely,
to
yeah.
your tweets. Yeah, anyone can. And like obviously there are unlike haters who don't even know you. They are just there on the platform to spread hate. Like uh, in few tweets I got a lot of hate from people, and I just checked out their profile, like who are they, and I just saw that they are just using this platform to just spread hate, just criticize everyone. So that gave me a lesson that yeah, people will say what they want to say, and you just have to learn to ignore it. So yeah, it's not specific to Twitter but to social media.
Right. Okay, and Vishal actually commented that there should be a platform called Tech Twitter, which is a little bit different than original Twitter, a clone with only modifications related to tech. That idea is pretty perfect. What's it, Pratham? Let's build one of those projects.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of projects that are already, quote unquote, trying to create the tech Twitter elsewhere. So there's Polywork, there's Showcase. There are like lots of these things coming up. But Twitter is just so much larger than any of these. And then the features Twitter has, you have Twitter Spaces and the all the tools that are built around Twitter. It's just hard to bring that to any other platform. And yeah, besides that, I think no matter where the tech community is, like you'll have these issues because it's not something innate to Twitter. It's something that's on all social media platforms. So if you're if you're on the internet and if you're posting your opinions to thousands of people, there are going to be a few people here and there who are going to hate you, right? So you just can't do anything about it. But yeah, will say that that's like mostly like only like 2 or 3% of the cases. Most of the times people are very helpful. You'll meet some great individuals, you'll be able to make connections, and you'll be able to get good opportunities. So it's mostly good. So I won't scare anyone of not coming to Twitter.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about your Twitter journey in specific. So can we start with Nirbhay? How did you start using Twitter? Any personal achievements which you have had through Twitter, and any other, as you told that you have got some bad comments. So any good vibe which you, I don't know, jotted down through Twitter?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I remember, I was fed up of like every social media, so I deleted my accounts from Instagram and etc. from everywhere. Then I thought that let's just start Twitter. Just professionally, just share what I'm doing. Uh, and then I joined Twitter, and one day I just said I wrote a thread, and I like to share things, so I just shared it with people on it. It was related to programming or something, and it gained a lot of traction, which was not realistic for me at that time. uh, like I was known in the local tech community in here in Delhi, but like online world I was not that active. So it gained a lot of traction, and the next day I tweeted something else, and the next day I tweeted something else. So in like 10 days I had like 1,000 followers, and people actually liking what I was sharing and doing. So it was like really different. Like we live in here in India, like everyone around you is great at something, and like you feel like that you are pretty much average. So it was the case with me. Everyone around me was in local dev communities, they were great, and I had this imposter syndrome that I'm not great at some anything. And when I joined Twitter, I realized that it wasn't the case, that I was actually pretty good at many things that I hadn't realized if it weren't for Twitter. So people supporting you, and like you see that you're not alone in this journey, and you're not a complete noob. So it was the case for me. uh, so yeah, I met a lot of amazing people. I made a lot of amazing developer friends on Twitter. So like people supporting you, and like I share threads on JavaScript. I love JavaScript and TypeScript, and people like what I share. They encourage me to do it more, so it's a wholesome community. I like, unlike Pratham, I had a great time on Twitter. uh, like, people are generally supportive. So that's like about it. Like, I've made a lot of international friends, and I'm like, it's great for your professional career as well. I like, for example, this opportunity. It's a great opportunity to be on Geeks for Geeks channel, and I have people approaching me for different jobs. Like, I haven't applied for any jobs, and I have like a few job offers already without applying. So that's great. People see your potential and appreciate it. So that's a great thing about Twitter. It's not just about politics. It's not just about hot topics, what's going on, trending stuff, memes, sharing memes. It's more than that. So yeah, that's about it.
All right. So making friends online is one big part who are actually there to support you. And the good thing is that they follow your niche. So you get to connect with them in a very professional as well as a personal level. Right.
I,
Pratham, what about you?
Yeah, so I mean, my Twitter journey was kind of unexpected in the sense that I created Twitter just to, log into some website. So, like how you sign in with Google, you can also sign into some websites with Twitter. So, like, I
Yeah.
just needed like a Twitter account for that. So, I did. I mean, so I started my account in June of, on this day actually, in 2019. So, yeah, I had no plans of creating an audience or anything like that at that time. But what happened in 2020 is that we had the lockdown because of the pandemic, and I mean, because of that, what happened is that a lot of developers actually came onto Twitter, and I realized that there's a really great tech community here. Might as well, if you're learning how to code, might as well share your journey with others, and that's mainly how I started my Twitter journey. And back then in 2020, I would just post about my I was doing web development at that time, so I mean, I would post about that, and yeah, the community was absolutely incredible. Lots of people supporting you. But then like my interest changed a little bit. I wanted to, dive more into machine learning because uh, I've been wanting to get into machine learning for a while, but it. So it took me like, so I thought I might as well start it this year. And I realized that a lot of web developers who were there wanted help in getting into machine learning. So, as someone who went from web development to machine learning, I kind of wanted to help them out. So, I made content around that, and that is mainly how I gained my following. And then, I just went deeper down the rabbit hole. I just posted more about machine learning, programming, that sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, uh, that's ex- that's what happened in my journey. And along the way, I made a lot of international friends. I've gotten lots of opportunities. I've spoken at a conference. I've done some freelance work, enough to pay my school tuition. And apart from that, like I also got my current job as a research fellow. So yeah, I mean, I've gotten lots of opportunities. And most importantly, I've made a lot of friends like Nirbhay and many others. So yeah, and there have been some bitter experiences with me on Twitter, but it's mostly just pretty fantastic. You can there's lots of amazing things like I've done through Twitter. So yeah.
Yeah, perfectly summed up. So, by the way, Nirbhay is still making friends, I believe, currently being active on the YouTube comment section. But yeah, I
Yeah.
do get, yeah. So that is good actually. So about any personal achievements which you had other than getting a job, as you mentioned, Pratham, any other personal achievements which you only got solely through your Twitter account?
I guess an achievement is that I've connected with over 75,000 people here on Twitter. So I guess that's an achievement in itself. I mean,
Yeah.
I could have never imagined that so many people would be interested in what I share. So I think that's a
Okay.
pretty big personal achievement. And apart from that, I've come out of my introvert self. I mean, I've learned I've been become much better at talking to people and public speaking. I'm still not like the great, very great at it, but I've gotten so much better after I joined Twitter. And in general, yeah, that's, I mean, that I think that counts as a personal achievement, right?
Yeah, yeah, that does. In fact, that's more like a dream to every other guy who is watching this webinar right now. Making international friends, having deep discussions about new tech, what's coming. So, yeah, that is pretty great to start with. All right. So, moving on to the next question. What do you guys love the most about Twitter? A couple of features, maybe, for example, Twitter Spaces just launched, and I see you guys are pretty active there. Any other features or any other thing which you like most about Twitter? Let's start with Nirbhay.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, that Twitter Spaces is a great platform, great actually feature on Twitter. For those of you who don't know it, it's like Clubhouse but inside Twitter. So yeah, it's great actually. It allows you to make interact with the developers who don't generally tweet out or reply to you, engage in topics, engage in conversation. So I have met a few developers like who I haven't interacted through tweets or like replied to them, or I'm not following them, but I met them through Twitter Spaces. So that's a great feature. So you get to learn a lot from these guys, like just interacting with people. uh, they share their topic, their you know opinions on something, their ideas on something. So it's a great thing to just improve your conversation skills and learn new things as well. And more features about Twitter, I think it's a good thing as well, it's a bad thing as well, that it's an open world that anyone can see your tweet and reply to it. So yeah, uh that's that's what I love and hate about Twitter.
But again, that's an easy way to find what you are tweeting about, right? You don't have to follow, like, to view all the content or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I realized that I for 3-4 months I was the biggest influencer for JavaScript on Twitter. uh
That is
and
great.
like yeah, it's it's a weird place, a weird algorithm. Like someone typed in the chat that I don't understand the Twitter algorithm. Yeah, nobody does. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
And
yes,
one
yes,
thing which
that's
I literally find pretty cool about Twitter is that there is no fixed way to use it. For example, there is, as you mentioned, that there is nobody has cracked the algorithm like perfectly. So you can start out with sharing whatever you like, and people will definitely connect to you, and eventually that community involvement is gonna happen. So it's not very hard to use. It's a very simple platform, and again, it's easy to use. It's just you just have to make up your bio, put a profile pic, put a banner, and that's it. That gets you started. So yeah, that is one feature which I personally loved about Twitter. What do you think, Pratham? What is your insight on this?
I think it's mostly just connecting with people, and the social aspect of it is pretty amazing. The fact that you can meet incredible developers from around the world is, it's absolutely amazing. And apart from that, you can make some great connections, as I said before. I like Twitter Spaces too. It allows you to, put your thoughts and, like, I mean, what you typically miss out in text, you can just speak it out to an audience, and I think that's also like an amazing feature. Yeah, and apart from that, the fact that you can help so many people as well and sharing your journey and just being active on Twitter is amazing to me. I remember, I mean, I promote a lot of open source projects and, a lot of guides and things like that, even from Geeks for Geeks. So, a lot of these GitHub repositories that I've had around 10 or 20 likes have gotten over 5,000-6,000, stars, because I share them on Twitter. So, I mean, that the fact that you can help so many people at the same time, like, have this audience and, just interact with the community, it's just amazing. So yeah, that's the social aspect of Twitter is pretty cool.
Perfect. Also, Vedant just asked the question, which pretty much makes sense. So it's like, apart from getting more social attention, how does Twitter really help in getting more open about your talent and development skills? So, what do you think, Nirbhay?
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you have grown an audience on Twitter, like people see what you're doing, people you get to show your talent to everyone. Like I only started JavaScript learning JavaScript a year ago. Before that I had worked with Java. I had worked with C++, C, general Indian languages.
Hmm.
Like I was working with Flutter, but on Twitter I realized that I really like JavaScript. I experimented with it. I learned it, and I started writing about it on blogs and showed it to people. I made projects and showed it on to Twitter. Showed it to my audience, and making videos also. Like if you have an audience, it's not only about Twitter. If you have an audience, just show them what you are doing, and soon you will be known for that thing. So as like for example, you are a Python developer, just show what you are building, write blogs about it, share it with people, make videos about it on audience, and soon you will be known for that Python. Hey, you're Pratham, you're a machine learning guy. I've heard about him on Twitter. So you expose yourself to people, that hey, this guy is really good at this language, and like automatically
Right,
industry leaders see that they can invite you to collaborations. People can hire you. Like seriously, I've gotten some like people have tried to hire me through Twitter DMs. So yeah, what more can you ask for your career? uh,
right. So the good way to start with Twitter is basically having a niche and then start posting about that. And once people start noticing you, then maybe you can widen your horizons and start tweeting about other stuff as well. Is that the safe
uh,
way to go?
I actually, s- yeah, that's a safe way to go. But sometimes that you don't have that niche, you don't know what your niche is.
Right,
So just tweet about what you're doing, like what your past achievements were. Just interact with people, uh, like motivate each other. That's the way to go about it. Like someone replied that his friends gained followers just by
yeah,
interacting with accounts. Yeah, that's a way to go about it. But I think followers doesn't matter, your audience does. That there is a difference between your audience and followers. Like
right,
if you have 50,000 followers, it doesn't mean that 50,000 followers are going to interact with you or like your tweet, etc. Build your audience, make personal collections. That's the way to go about it. You don't have to be expert at anything. You can simply like share memes. Like I have few friends who just shares memes on Twitter, and they have this huge audience. I have just friends who just like tweet about the random tech things, dank memes, and
yeah.
yeah, that's not a niche. That you can't show that to your employees, but yeah, you get to show yourself to other developers and make friends, and that will be greatly beneficial to your career.
In fact, I just got an idea of a meme by checking out PK's comment. So, bot sliding into LinkedIn DMs is a big no, while company sliding into Twitter DMs is a yes. So, I can imagine that Drake meme showcasing what
Nice
PK
one.
just said. But yeah, that's cool. That is pretty cool. So, yeah, Pratham, any
I
other
think there's
insight? Yeah.
another question here about how often do you guys recycle threads? Pratham, K, and George Muller do it a lot. Well, I mean, your time is limited, and like you want your content. So what happens on Twitter is that your content is only shown to like 10% of your entire audience at a time. So I mean, I recycle my threads. I mean, I used to recycle my threads a lot before, so just so it could get the maximum reach. But I've just realized that the Twitter algorithm is just messed up, so it keeps on changing all the time. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's I think it's totally fine to recycle your threads, uh, but yeah, I mean, I've stopped doing it right now. I mean, I do it pretty rarely.
Yeah, personally,
Like,
like I have a really bad habit of just going away from Twitter. But the thing is that if you post something valuable and people feel that you post something valuable, they will forgive you for that. Like like every month I just tweet threads a week, and then I'm off from the website for the whole month. uh, but yeah, you recycling threads, I've seen a lot of people recycling threads, but it's generally a personal opinion. Like I really feel bad when I don't have any valuable thing to add to the conversation or to, like on social media. And when I do that, then I don't post anything. Like I don't think I have recycled. I think I have recycled the topics, but every time they had something different in it. But yeah, recycling is something that most people do, and it's all right. Obviously, on the first time, not everyone sees your thread, so yeah, you're providing value. Just do it.
So
yeah,
it all
true
comes
that. I
down
mean, a
to,
lot of people,
yeah,
like a
Pratham.
lot of people seem to have problems with threads, but I think threads are a fantastic way to share your knowledge and be valuable. Like, I mean, I've gotten so much value out of threads on Twitter, so many guides, so many advices and stuff. I mean, I try to give provide back to the community through or two through threads. So yeah, I mean, they're a fantastic way. They're like a mini crash course, if you say so. Instead of like reading an entire article, you can summarize it in just 5 or 6 tweets, and I just think that's absolutely amazing.
Yep, that is true. A mini crash course sounds perfect way to describe what a thread is. Yeah. So, all right, moving on. So let's boil down to the main question, which is like, if I am a developer, why is now the right time to be active on Twitter? And by active, as Pratham and as we were having a conversation last time we talked, you told me that people have made accounts on Twitter, but they're not active. They are not engaging with the community. So why should they do that? And what is the right way to get started with Twitter?
uh,
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously you
you can go
can.
first. Yeah.
Okay. The thing is that you don't have to start tweeting out randomly. Just I've seen this webinar. I'll just start tweeting something randomly. You don't have to do that. Uh, just start following a few people. See what they are doing. Just interact with them. Comment on that, and soon they'll like even if they don't know you, soon they'll start to figure out that hey, this guy or hey, this person actually replies to my tweets a lot. I should see who he is. Like personally, I am really intrigued by a person who replies to my tweets regularly, and that's how I follow back. Like if I don't know them, if person is tweet replying to your tweets really frequently or providing something valuable below it, that's a way to expose yourself to people. Like I remember Francisco. He's a good friend now, but before when he didn't know me, I used to reply to his threads and his tweets, and that's the way we got to know each other. He followed me back, and like now we are great friends. uh, so yeah, that's the way to go. Just interact with developers. Follow, just search hashtag web development or something. If you're a web developer or something, just search that, find people who you can follow and start interacting with them. That's the best way to start your Twitter journey. And there is like a quote that the best time to start was yesterday, the second best is now. So just start it right away. Follow people and just start interacting with them.
And
And
you
don't
already have, yeah.
and don't care about, hey, I have so few followers or something. Like if you actually have something, like you might have to do something different if you actually have something valuable to provide. Like I didn't know I had something valuable to provide, but I started tweeting those things, and I got to know that I have some valuable things to provide, and people want that. So yeah, just post something valuable you feel like. Don't just spam that I have to tweet. That's why I'm doing it. Just post something valuable and interact with people.
Hmm. So basically, just do it. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Pratham, what do you think?
I mean, I think Nirbhay has pretty much said everything. You're just, just provide value to the community, and, the community will give you some value back. And yeah, it's a positive sum game. And, yeah, basically it.
For example, if you don't have any ideas what to tweet about, this might happen to you guys as well, that you don't know what exactly are you putting out today. So what do you do? Like, do you simply interact, or now has it become more of a thing which you have to do, the thing which you have to, that you have to put a tweet out? So how does that, how does one come
Yeah,
out of that loop?
like I think there are like two ways that I treat my Twitter. There's one where I just provide value to others, and one where I just talk about some of my personal accomplishments, or just talk about my personal life. So the thing is, if you want to make a huge following on Twitter, you have to focus more on providing value to your audience, because they need a reason to follow you, right? Of course, you need to, like, provide value in some way, right? And if you just keep if you're not able to get a hold of the algorithm, your content is pretty much worthless in my opinion, because you can those things that I write on Twitter to provide value to others, I could write it on a piece of paper, put it in a bottle, and throw it away in the ocean, and that would be the same as it getting no recognition on Twitter, right? So if you want to provide value, make sure it also gets reach. I think that is important. Like, most people say followers don't these are vanity metrics and things like that, but I think it is important that your content actually reaches out to people, that so that it is valuable. So yeah, that's something like very important. And apart from that, just have fun, and sounds cliche, but also be yourself, and at the same time just provide value. That's all I'll say, and you'll have a good time here. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
All right. Also, we had a question with PK that do you value replies more or quote tweets on Twitter?
Just reply to people, because initially you don't have the audience who will say your quote tweets. So just reply to someone. Like Pratham has recently just tweeted something about machine learning, and you feel like you can add to that. So just reply to that. That way, Pratham will see your tweet, your reply, and his audience will also see your reply. And that's a great way to provide value, and that's a great way to increase your audience. So initially, you should reply to like big accounts to increase your reach.
In fact, yeah, one hack which I learned was that you can press the bell icon. You will get to know when that big account is putting out content, and then you can simply comment like right away. That does actually helps a lot of people, right?
Elon Musk.
Yeah. And in fact, you never know, the guy might reply back to you. So, yep.
Absolutely.
True that. Yeah.
All right. So Sanjay has asked a good question. This is specific to you, Pratham. Need to know about Pratham's machine learning journey and suggestion materials to start with machine learning to a advanced level. Any tips?
Oh yeah, I get this question a lot. But again, you can DM me if you want more details, but I'll give you a short version over here. So, like I've been interested in machine learning since, like, 2017, when Google had shown their AI that that got respond to your. It was basically the Google Assistant, and it could respond to a call in real time. I thought that was pretty amazing. And then I just like the whole idea of machine learning. It just it sounds cool and stuff. But other than that, I actually had an interest in it. So the main roadblock that I faced was that whenever I wanted to search for any resources or a path to machine learning, the first thing that they would tell me is to learn the math, which always demotivated me because imagine like a seventh grader who wants to learn machine learning and they've been told to learn calculus. It just doesn't work, right? So what I realized is that, again, this is a very controversial topic, but you don't need math for machine learning per se. What I mean by that is, unless you're planning to becoming a researcher or going into academia and doing research level stuff, you can probably just learn how to code and do a lot of the machine learning tasks just like that. You can use pre-made models, you can use pre-made APIs. Some people say that's not real machine learning, but in my opinion, it is totally okay to do it that way as well. I mean, you don't have to be scared of the math. Of course, the math helps you gain a deeper understanding, but focus more on programming is what I would say, especially Python, because most of machine learning is just data structures and algorithms. Like it's mostly just hardcore programming, in my opinion. So like using TensorFlow or PyTorch, things like that. So focus more on the programming part and don't be worried about the math. And as far as suggestion materials go, there is this YouTube channel called Google Developers, and over there you'll find this video series called Machine Learning Foundations, and that is how I got started. It's an absolutely fantastic way to get started without any math. And I mean, that's where I'd start. And then if you want to deep dive, if you want to get into the math, just to have a deeper understanding, but it's not necessary, then you can look at Khan Academy. That they have some great math courses. And apart from that, I mean, just learn Python very well. So Google for Python resources, and I keep sharing a lot of these resources on my Twitter as well. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you what you want to take, but just keep these in mind, that don't be scared of the math and learn Python really well. So if you keep that in mind, you'll be good.
Also, Free Code Camp have some amazing videos and free courses on their
Absolutely,
YouTube channel regarding the maths for machine learning, calculus, etc. So you can check that out as well.
And I hope
that's
and personally, I'd like to add to that. Like, I had some friends who were into machine learning and doing machine learning since their first year, and when they reached their fourth year in the interviews, they were asked literally scary questions that they had never heard before, and most of them removed machine learning from their resume because of this case. So you have to decide, what do you want to learn machine learning for. Absolutely, as Pratham said, that if you have to go get into research, then absolutely you'll have to learn it in a deep manner, and you'll have to learn the maths properly. But if you just have to build an app or something, just search what do you want to do. Like, if you want to build up an image classification model, you don't have to learn everything or maths for that. You can just use pre-provided services like Azure or something. So just decide what do you want to do with machine learning, and just start with it.
Okay, so basically, don't go before machine learning because it's a very buzzword and you might sound a little intellectual, because that's what I have heard.
Yeah, you won't get I know it personally. I have seen many people. You won't get a great job as a fresher, as a machine learning engineer. The great jobs, the big jobs are just acquired by PhDs or MTechs. You won't get a job, big high paying job from machine learning just after you pass out.
I think yeah, the job topic for machine learning is always like finicky for me. But I treat machine learning as a hobby. I use machine learning as a tool to solve problems that I want to solve. And when you treat it like that, it's more fulfilling, and you're not under pressure. Like I will do this. Like I'm learning this just so I can get a high paying job, which you can. But I think, as Nirbhay said, you need like credentials for that. I think as of now, if you want, if you're not like from a technical background and you just if you only want to make money, that's your only goal of programming, then machine learning I don't think is the best choice. But I think in that case, web development makes more sense. Maybe using WordPress or something like that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to just get into like understand how machine learning works and just use this, like use something that's going to be powering the future, and and just try out something cool and new. So I mean, if you treat it as a hobby, then you'll get more fulfillment out of doing it. So yeah, treat
Makes
it
sense.
that yeah.
Uh-huh. So the last question, which is more about any tips and tricks which you have learned for using Twitter, and what kind of content generally works. What have you noticed? Any trends which particularly have always led to good results for you? For example, one thing which I have learned is humor works very well on Twitter. In case if it's done on the right side, it's always good. Memes again, obviously. And the first thing is getting a good bio. You should have clear intentions of what you want to write on bio, and your priorities have to be quite straightened up. So any other tips, any tricks, anything which you think can help to the people who will be just making their Twitter accounts and will be joining the community?
Okay, absolutely. This first point is that use your own profile picture. That way, you get to build a personal connection with people. Second, obviously, as you said, that use a proper bio. What do you do? What are you providing? What value are you providing to people? You can't just write my life, my rules, or and then provide. Even if you provide something really valuable on Twitter, people will just click on your profile and see that bio and just click away. Uh, so yeah, use a proper bio. And the thing, one great thing is that the most your most valuable tweet, use it as your pinned tweet, so that when someone visits your profile, they'll see that tweet, and they obviously most people see that pinned tweet. They don't scroll through your profile. They'll see that, hey, this person is providing value. And mostly people use their most liked tweets, but I would say that use the most valuable tweet. Initially start interacting with big accounts. That way their audience will get to see your content. uh, and use hashtags initially, but don't use hashtags like your hashtag shouldn't be greater than your actual tweet. I've seen people using that. Their tweet will be smaller, but their hashtag will be bigger than the actual tweet. Start interacting with people. Yeah, someone mentioned in the chat hashtag 100 days of code. That's a great way of going, starting on Twitter.
Right.
The
Yeah.
start, yeah, obviously you are a developer, you code every day. uh, and just Google something if you don't know. Google hashtag 100 days of code, and it's like a challenge that I'll code something for an hour every day, and I'll tweet it using the hashtag 100 days of code. That way, the other participants who are in this challenge, they get to see your tweets. And people encourage generally us. I randomly sometimes go to hashtag 100 days of code challenge and see what beginners are doing, and encouraging them and helping them out. So that's the way to go about it if you're a beginner. uh, yeah uh, yeah, that's about it.
Those are actually some good insights. Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Pratham, over to you.
Yeah, about using the hashtags. I've not used a hashtag in like 8 or 9 months, but that's because I have a big enough audience already. Um, yeah, at the start it's hard to get recognition on your content, so at that time I guess hashtags are a great way to get started. It brings more visibility to your content, and apart from that, just interacting with a few big accounts will really help you out. That will really help you make more connections, just get you more visibility. And apart from that, just have fun, and try to provide value. And if you do that, you're definitely able to get a following on Twitter, if that's what you're after. And just again, I keep saying this again and again, but just be yourself and have fun, because that's more followers will not make you more happy. Yeah.
Golden words. Yeah. But again, I had a couple of questions. So, for example, does media tweets work well, or is it more text tweets? What do you think?
If it's
I
meme, then
Yeah.
media. If it's meme, then media tweets, obviously.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Like one, I posted a meme like 4 5 months ago, and it got like 10,000 likes or something. 2 million impressions. Just that single tweet. So it's totally up to the algorithm what they want to do. It won't matter. Like it's not a fixed thing that it will work.
Yeah.
You'll just have to figure out and hope for the best.
And about the number of tweets, because that's a very big debate that keeps happening on the community. How many tweets should you post in a day? What is the right figure? So, have you guys noticed any kind of trend on your accounts?
Like in a month. So when you check your analytics, the tweets that you see on the top of every page, that's kind of misleading, because it also includes replies. So those are not tweets per se. So it kind of confuses people. But if you include my replies and my tweets, I do around 500-600 of those in total, like replies plus tweets. If I were to just count tweets, I would say like 50-60 tweets in an entire month. And like every month I gain over 6,000-7,000 followers. So I mean, it's about providing value. Like your one tweet can be very information dense, and that is equivalent to like 10 tweets of somebody else. So again, I try not to spam people. I mean, just try to post when I actually want to post some valuable content. So that's something I've worked towards. And yeah, I mean, there's no golden way to tweet, but just don't spam your audience. Like, don't post 5,000 tweets in an entire month. So just tweet when you think you have something important to say, and
Right,
that
makes
should work.
sense.
Yeah.
Also, is it like asking for a job or a referral? Is it the right way to slide into someone's DM and then ask for it? Does it make sense? Is it pretty normal, or is
A
it not?
better way to, I mean, in my opinion, a better way to do it would be to tweet that, hey, I'm looking for a job. This is what my skill set is, and put #100 is a code. The community is very supportive. Last year I actually lost my internship because of COVID, and so I mean, I did a tweet about that, and I got lots of responses from that. So yeah, the community is supportive. Just tweet that I would like to get a job, and then you'll automatically get offers. You don't have to. I mean, I'm not sure how cold DMing someone works, but that's something you can try, I guess. But yeah, that's how I would do it.
Also, one question Chitadeep Biswas asked is that, is exploring many languages and creating different projects on it really worth it? Any take on that?
What?
I'm a
Is
like
exploring many languages and creating different projects on them worth it? So, should one explore many
I
languages and
made
then try
the
to? Yeah.
Yeah, I made that mistake like 3-4 years ago. So I thought that the more programming languages you know, the better of a programmer you are, and that's totally not true. It's more about solving the problem, right? just pick any programming language and solve the problem. So let's say you want to make a website. So learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript for the front end, and maybe take Python, PHP, or something for the back end. Just what you're comfortable with. Don't worry about programming language. And if you, I think we all know this at this point, that if you know one programming language, it's very easy to switch on to other programming languages. You just need to know the syntax. And I think, it mainly boils down to solving the problem. That's what matters the most.
And
Right.
yeah, I can add to that. Most people think that learning a programming language is just start learning their syntax, and that's not the case. I believe that you only really know the one programming language that you are currently working with. You don't you or one or two. I don't think that you can learn, like, actually know 4 or 5 languages. It can't be the case.
Hmm.
In 2 months, like, I had worked with C++ for like 2 years, but now the code is totally different, and the language is a lot different than the last time I used it. So you only really know the programming language that you're currently working with. And as Pratham said, obviously just think that what do you want to build. If you want to build something related to websites, then obviously you'll have to learn JavaScript. Just learning syntax and something. So just figure out what do you want to build and learn things accordingly. uh, yeah,
This is one.
that's the way to go about it. You can't just learn the language syntax for a week and just add that language to your resume. That's not the case.
Yeah, this is one query which we at Geeks for Geeks have, like, every time it comes up, that how many languages should I learn? How much time does it take to master DSA? What is the right way to start with programming? This comes every time in every webinar and in any activity which we do. So, what is your take on that? Like, what should you focus upon if you're starting up? And as you can see now, that Twitter is a good way to connect with people. You can always ask them how is their journey like, and maybe you'll get a good response. So that community building might help you over there. But what do you guys think? Like, how much time does it take to master, for example, say DSA?
You know, the here's the thing. You will never learn. Let's say you want to learn Python. You will never learn Python completely. That's a fact. Or JavaScript or TypeScript. You will never learn the entire language. But
Right.
what you can learn is some general good practices and stuff like that. Again, I say this again. Your point is to solve a problem. You don't worry that much about the tool, right? The thing is, you can do 80% of the things just by knowing 20% of the programming language. This is called the Pareto distribution, and this applies in most programming languages. Like if you know 20% of Python, you can do 80% of the things. So the rest of the 80% is not that worth learning. You can mostly Google it out. That's what I've seen in my experience. And uh, again, just focus on the problem, and go just start with it. And once you encounter issues, you can Google it, you'll get some help, and that way you learn much faster than just taking a bunch of courses. And actually, this is one of the mistakes I made. I just took a lot of courses, and I expected that I will quote unquote master this programming language. But
Yeah.
I later on I just realized it's about building more than it is about just learning a language. Like you don't it's just a tool, so treat it like that, in my opinion.
Right. Makes sense. Nirbhay, anything you want to add up?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is that if you want to get into big MNCs, Fang or something, just learn competitive programming blindly. But if you actually want to be a great developer, I recommend people to just learn data structures and algorithm. Like just learn the basics. What are trees? What are stack? Just learn the basics and just start building stuff. And as Pratham said, that obviously you won't be able to master a language. I thought that I have mastered JavaScript now, but that's not the case. Yesterday I got stuck on something, and uh, I had to figure out. I had to spend 6 hours on that. So you won't be able to master a language completely. Just keep building stuff. You'll start to figure out things that you don't know about that language, and you learn accordingly. But the thing is that before moving to a framework, I recommend people to properly check out the language before. So you don't have to master it, but at least you have to know the concepts of that language.
Right.
uh, yes. And personally, I recommend people to go with the project building way. Like some people might know Tanne Pratap. He's a great developer. I think he's SD2 and Microsoft. He's absolutely insane person. He's a great developer. He guarantees people that build 5 projects and build your portfolio, and you'll get a job. And that's absolutely correct. You don't have to master DSA for that. Just build projects and look for internships and jobs. That's the easiest way to go, and the
Yeah,
most sane way to go.
yeah, and showcase that to the world. They'll be giving you good feedbacks. That's where a good community helps. That if you have made a project, you share it with the community. You'll get to know where you're lacking. If you have any other doubts, again, you can always share it on platforms like Twitter. So definitely that's a bonus point. But I think this has been great. I personally have learned a lot about Twitter as well, and I hope the audience has too. Just before leaving, I have a very small activity. Pratham already knows about it, I believe. But yeah, the simple question. Let me just share my screen once. So we do these kind of. Let me just share the screen once. All right. So we recently posted this. I would love to see what you guys can come up with. So what's something you can state in your CV as well as in your Tinder bio. So I really need to see how creative you guys are, and in fact, you can select which answer did you find best, and maybe we'll give that guy any course or anything which we have to offer.
First of all, I'd
Oh
like to
yeah, sure.
mention that that's an example of overusing hashtags.
Wow, wow. I hope yes, I am learning. I told you, right?
That's a
It's
classic example of
we we all learn through mistakes,
Yep.
but anyway, yeah, I think you can reduce the hashtags here.
Wow. It's
something
like
you
getting a
can
But yeah,
say
feedback
to
I
on
your
the
mean,
CV
project.
as
so are we going to answer this as well,
Yeah, yeah.
or
If you have a creative answer, go for it.
looking for paid opportunity.
I'll be scrolling it down. I just want you guys to, if you have any answers, you can bring it up. Otherwise, I'll be scrolling the list
I'm a
and you guys can select. Yeah.
I'm a fresher.
Uh-huh.
I'm new. Like I'm a fresher. I'm new to this.
Wow.
And that could be one. I don't know. And then
All right. In fact, we have some good answers in the comments. I
and
can
I
make it
don't know
better if I.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah, my audience is going to have a totally different impression of me if I answer this.
Absolutely.
I am full stack, good in back end and front end both.
All right. Let
And
me
I
just
don't know.
scroll down the
I don't.
answers first. All
Oh man,
right.
geeks for geeks.
I
Yep.
can't commit.
Which one out of these did you like the most?
Looking for
I
paid. I really like looking for paid opportunities.
All right. Pratik, it is. All right.
Wow.
is
Cool.
the
You can use it on your OnlyFans also. Oh,
Cool.
self-taught programmer. Okay, which one do you like the best, Nirbhay?
I really like
I
looking
can't.
for paid opportunities. Like
All
it's
right.
dark, but I really like that.
PK just wrote, "I work better in teams." Damn.
Oh man, nice one, nice one. I'm enjoying this.
That's good.
Should have started the
That,
webinar with this, I believe.
Oh yeah, next time, next time.
Definitely.
let's see what chat can come out with.
Oh yeah, we need. Yeah, I'm looking at the chart now.
All right. There was this one. Again, I think it was PK only. I can make it better if I get to look under the hood. This went too far, I believe, but
Oh,
cool.
Oh man.
oh,
Well, we'll definitely have one of these sessions where we just, get to know about the creative side of a developer, which I believe there is. But yeah, that's pretty
Oh,
much
you
it.
bet. Yeah.
This is one of those stereotypes which even I hate, that a developer is, mostly stereotyped as a guy who is always sitting in front of a laptop doing something techie or something. Definitely. All right.
absolutely.
Better hire me after this session. I love this
Uh,
chat.
All right. So I think this would be it, guys. It was a great session, I believe, and I hope the audience
abs-
learned a thing or two about Twitter. Right? Any word of advice to the people who are watching you guys currently?
Yeah, I mean, just build stuff with code and share your journey, have fun. That's and that's mostly it.
Yep.
yes, follow me on Twitter.
Shameless plug.
Well, we actually have attached your Twitter and LinkedIn profiles in the description below, so you guys can definitely check them out, and do check us out. Obviously, we are making
Yeah.
mistakes, but we are learning every day. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like,
And
thank you for
yeah, I mean,
inviting me.
I get lots of DMs, but if you want to, I mean, I don't know if I'm that qualified to help you, but I'll try my best. Just hit me up with a DM, and I'll try to help you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
same with me as well. Like right now, I have my exams, but after this month, I can't reply. I found out that I can't reply to every tweet, but like every week, I'll do a live stream on my channel regarding those questions, like discussing it with everyone, so that obviously hiding your name and everything, your details, but that way it might be easier for me as well, and it everyone can benefit for that with that. So you can wait for that.
By the way, Jesse just killed it with the answer.
uh, I
Hey,
can.
can you be my pop bubble?
Damn.
uh,
Hello, guys. Okay, then. Thank you for this, and let's hope we connect soon.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. It was a great session. It's an honor to be here on Geeks for Geeks channel. I really appreciate it. And I hope you
Same
guys,
here. Likewise.
audience, found something valuable from this session.
Right. That's the most important thing. In fact, there's a giveaway announced. So just after this, I'll be announcing the giveaway as well. So thank you, Pratham. Thank you, Nirbhay.
Thank you, Sid.
Bye
Thanks for
bye.
inviting us here. Bye.
All right, guys. I hope you're definitely taking some notes and you got to find out more about Twitter. And I personally believe you guys have enough reasons to be active on Twitter now. And you guys can follow Nirbhay and Pratham definitely. But in case you need a little bit more motivation, we are having a free giveaway. So basically, just after this webinar ends, you'll be putting out a tweet about what did you love most about this webinar, and a couple of users will get one or our Amazon test series or Microsoft test series for totally free. So do check out that and do follow these amazing people and Geeks for Geeks. And see you in the next session. Bye bye.